Hello everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day, and today guys I'm going to be showing you how you can become the ultimate lightning god inside of Black Myth Wukong. So if you guys like calling down lightning bolts to destroy all the enemies while also remaining very defensive, then this lightning build is probably going to be the build for you. So Ozzy, what makes this build so good? Well, I'm glad you asked. For starters, we have some fantastic damage with our start, and also our lightning damage does pretty decent damage too. I feel like that's the main selling point in just about any build you do for any game. Does it do damage? Can I destroy the enemies as quickly as possible? This build has got you covered. So moving on over to the next reason why I enjoy this build so much, and if you couldn't tell by the clips on screen, we are using pillar stand. And the main reason we're using pillar stands is because it's brain dead, actually brain dead move. That lets you stand on top of your pole, dodge all the enemy attacks while you charge up your focus points, ready to lay down a big finisher. Making pillar stands one of the best defensive and easy to use stances in the whole entire game. Enemies using ground AoE, get on your pole. Enemies using sweep attacks, get on your pole. Basically 80 to 90% of the enemy and bosses movesets can be dodged, but just getting on the friggin' pole. Get on your pole, boys. It literally makes the game that much easier. And then last but not least, and arguably the most important point, is this build fun? Well, I wouldn't be here making this video if this build wasn't fun. So of course it is. Of course this build is fun to play, and hopefully you guys get just as much enjoyment out of it as I did. I've been using a lot of other builds, but as soon as I switched to this lightning one and tried out a lot of the lightning damage and lightning moves that Black Myth Wukong does offer, this one really stuck with me. It's just super easy to use. You're able to lay on a lot of damage very quickly, and if any enemy can be affected by that lightning status effect, they're in for a world of hurt. Alright, enough of the intro mumbo jumbo. Let's finally just jump over to what we're actually taking with this particular build. So I'm going to start with the weapons, the armor, the Curios, all that good jazz, the Gourd, and then we will move over to skills and the relics that I am taking just to finish off the build video, and I think that will pretty much be it. So let's talk about the weapon first. The weapon that we are using is the mythical golden long staff. So what this weapon does is when we're using pillar stance, while we have 3 or 4 more focus points, when we do unleash our heavy, it will also shoot out a lightning dragon to deal lightning damage to the enemy. Very strong, very cool weapon. I think it's arguably one of the coolest weapons in the game. The fact that you do shoot out the long, aka the dragon, out of the actual staff. Very cool. It's also a pretty strong weapon as well with 108 attack. Unfortunately, no crit, no extra additive bonuses to this weapon, except for the fact that you can shoot out a fucking dragon when you use 3 or more focus points off your pillar stand. So this is a great way to stay defensive, load up your focus points, drop big damage on the enemy while shooting a lightning dragon at them to hopefully afflict them with the lightning status effect, and then you're just going to be doing more damage that way. There are other lightning staffs in the game, but I really do like the mythical golden long staff, and it's the only staff that does lightning when you use pillar stance. For the headgear, I have got the Golden Mask of Fury. The main reason we have Golden Mask of Fury is the unique effect whenever you use a spirit skill, we get massive amounts of focus upon reverting back from that spirit skill, which is really good because we want to try and get 3 to 4 focus points as quickly as possible so we can keep dumping that pillar stance move while shooting out the lightning dragon. This is just going to help the enemy stay electrified and also just help us do more damage in the fight. For the chest piece, we have the long scale battle robe. I have upgraded this once or twice. I can't exactly remember. It might have been twice. So what this chest piece does is whenever we use Vengeful Mirage, it will inflict Thunderbane onto the enemy. If you guys are unsure what Vengeful Mirage is the very last upgrade in the stamina tree in the foundation section. What this does is when you perfect dodge, you're just going to leave a clone there and that clone will explode and deal damage to the enemy. When you have this chest piece on, that clone that you leave when you perfect dodge will explode and deal Thunderbane damage, which is a great way to apply that Thunder status effect and also just do a little bit more extra damage when we are perfect dodging, which is fantastic. You can see that we do have the 3-piece bonus as well, so you already know that I'm wearing 3 pieces of the long scale battle robe. So this is just going to reduce the duration of the shock state, but the main reason we want this is it moderately increases thunder damage. When you do upgrade this chest piece as well, you can see that I've got thunder veins. This further increases the thunder damage that we do, which is fantastic. So for the arm pieces, we do have the long scale arm guard, and then the leg pieces, of course, we have the long scale greaves just to get this set bonus on giving us more thunder damage. So next up we have the Curios or Curios. I'm not sure how you actually pronounce that word, but we are moving on over to the amulets, if you want to call them that. Now there's a lot of really great amulets in this game that really do offer a lot of more depth and diversity to what kind of builds you actually want to set up. The main setup that I thought worked the best for me was having the Jade Moon Rabbit, the Gold Sun Crow. Now if you have both of these two things equipped at the same time, you get an additional bonus. So the Jade Moon Rabbit does damage reduction and the Gold Sun Crow does gives you damage bonus. But when you have both of these on at the same time, you get additional bonus. And you can see on my stats on the right that we're getting 3% damage reduction and 3% damage bonus, and that's just the bonus you get from having these two items on at the same time. And then for the last Curios that I have got, it is the Amber Prayer Beads. Now the Amber Prayer Beads is going to moderately increase the speed of building up focus point. Like I said, we want to get to 3 to 4 focus points as quickly as possible so we can use our Pillar Stance Heavy, dump big damage on the enemy, and also shoot out the lightning dragon, which will apply lightning status effect to them and let us do more damage. It's really fun. It's really good synergy. And for the vessel I am using, we are using Weaver's Needle. Weaver's Needle is so strong because it just gives you crit hit chance and also critical hit damage, which is massive. All the other vessels are very niche. They come with their own set of bonuses, but the Weaver's Needle is just arguably the best if you want more DPS. Now moving on over to the spirits. For the spirit, I am using the non-able. You're probably wondering why I'm not using the Rat Governor, because the Rat Governor does considerably increase your thunder damage. Now that would be great, except the Rat Governor sucks dick. It is so bad. I really do not like this spirit at all. It can miss the enemies a lot because of the time it takes to come out, and it doesn't really do that much damage. It just applies the lightning status effect and does a little bit of damage on top of applying that lightning status effect. So I didn't really like the Rat Governor. I tried to like the Rat Governor. It would be very beneficial for this build because we're using a lot of thunder damage and this just increases thunder damage, but I do like using the spirits, and the Rat Governor just, it doesn't gel well with me at all. I fucking hate this guy, and that's why I've gone for the non-able spirit. You could really use whatever spirit you want. I really do just like the non-able spirit because again, his chi cost is low, like Rat Governor, so we can use his spirit much more often, and his passive is fantastic. It increases our attack, our crit hit chance, and our crit hit damage. It does lower our mana, but I feel like when you start getting towards the end of the game, you're not super reliant on your mana as much as you were in the early game. The spirit itself comes out very quickly, and the way this spirit works is really cool. So when you're using your light attack combo, each chain in your light attack combo, you can use this spirit at any time. Say you use one light attack combo, then use the spirit, it will do a move. And then if you do 2 light attack combos and you use the spirit, he will do a different move, and then so on and so on, which is really cool because then the spirit doesn't get too boring that using the same moves over and over again. He has a variation of different moves, and they come out depending where you are in your light attack combo. And that's just another reason why I think this spirit is very fun to use and also very cool to use. The fact that it just has so many different moves and they come out in different sections of your light attack combo. But feel free to use whatever spirit you like. I just like the Rat Governor because it does increase your thunder damage, and non-able was my main bread and butter because of how fun this spirit is to use. Now moving on over to the Gourd as well. I am using the Long Balm. The Long Balm gives you 30% of maximum health and considerably increases damage executed by the next attack. You're not going to try to prioritize this damage passive, but it is nice that when you do use your Gourd and you do get up on Pillar Stance, that next Pillar Stance heavy that you do will have considerably increased damage, which when this hits and when it crits, it does some serious fucking damage. Now for the soaks, I have got Death Stinger, I've got Rooster Blood, we've got the L'Oreal Buds, and also Bee Mountain Stone. The Death Stinger is going to apply poison to ourselves. The Rooster Blood is going to negate that poison on ourselves, going to take it away, and it's going to give us a movement speed and a critical hit chance increase. This crit hit chance increase is massive. I think it's like 5%, so the Rooster Blood and the Death Stinger combo is very nice. The L'Oreal Buds gives us increased damage reduction. This is 10% damage reduction, so fantastic. This is going to keep you alive a little bit longer. And then the Bee Mountain Stone is whenever we take a sip of our Gourd, there is a small chance that we do not consume a charge. This happens more often than none, and this is just great to keep you in that fight with the boss. You can keep going toe to toe with him, especially if you keep getting Gourd charges back. You become kind of a unit. So moving on over to the skills I would recommend you guys take with this build. So first up, obviously because we're using pillar stands and our weapon needs to be on pillar stands to shoot that dragon out, of course we're going to be using pillar stand. I would just recommend unlocking all of this. It is really, really great. Towering Mountain's fantastic. You know, when you're on pillar stand and you run out of stamina, you will just drop down and do an attack on top of the enemy. And then the Sweeping Gale and the Churning Gale. Churning Gale does massive amounts of damage, especially if you dump focus points with it. And Sweeping Gale is really good for building focus points insanely quick. So Sweeping Gale building up focus points insanely fast is going to be really good, so you can then use your pillar stance to drop 3 or 4 focus points on the enemy and hit him with the dragon. Or you could use Churning Gale, which I think this move personally is the big Unga Bunga move of pillar stance. This does the most amount of damage, so definitely do not sleep on Churning Gale. It hits like an absolute truck. You kind of get into a rhythm of doing your pillar stance heavy first, getting up on your pole, getting the lightning dragon to hit the enemy, affecting them with lightning, build up your focus points quickly, and then hit them with Churning Gale and just watch how much damage you do if the enemy is still affected with lightning. It is crazy. As you go through the game, I would recommend unlocking everything in this column. This is going to apply to all stances. So Foundation, I have maxed out stamina all the way down the right side, just so we can get Vengeful Mirage. I did explain this before. With our chest piece, we're able to apply lightning with our decoys when they explode, which is much more effective than just having the Vengeful Mirage by itself. I did go down Martial Arts mainly to get Punishing Downpour. Fantastic skill to pick up because it just lets your light attack combos do more damage on the finisher, which, since your light attack combos is pretty much your bread and butter of the whole entire game, it is nice that when you do the finisher of the light attack, you do more damage. I max out health, nearly max out stamina. I've got crit hit chance maxed out. I put 1 point into mana. Like I said, I didn't really feel I needed mana towards the end of the game. I've maxed out Wrathful Might, which is going to increase our critical damage, which goes really well with Wrathful Escalation. And then last but not least, we got Surging Momentum, which is just going to increase your overall attack power, which is huge. For Mysticism, I did put 2 points in the Stagnation. I've got Crash, Evanescent, and also Spirit Shard. Spirit Shard is fantastic. If you like using Immobilize, I'd highly recommend you guys pick this up early. When you crash the enemies out of Immobilize, you get a little bit of mana back, so this helps you recast other spells or skills that you want to use, or it just helps you get Immobilize ready to use again. And then for the Alteration, we are using Rock Solid, so I have pretty much taken all of the Rock Solid skill tree. Bold Venture is the main thing we want here. When we get a perfect deflection, we get mana back. So having Rock Solid and Immobilize get our mana back. This is why I said that mana doesn't really play a big part in the end of the game. I am using Pluck of Many, but I haven't upgraded Pluck of Many. Pluck of Many is just super strong on its own. If I had the extra points, maybe in New Game Plus, I definitely would be going through Pluck of Many just to fully demolish the bosses even faster, because Pluck of Many is broken. It's basically like the Mimic ×5 in Elden Ring. And then for the transformations, we are using Yellow Long Transformation. So I have got the Lightning Flash here, which moderately increases Invincibility duration when seeing through the enemy. All this Lightning Transformation does is see through the enemy. You want to try and build up your focus points with this transformation to unload big damage. And I'm not sure if I've shown the clip. I'll probably show you a clip now. When you get 3 focus points with the Yellow Long Transformation, that big attack that you can load up with the 3 focus points is no joke. No fucking joke. It hits like a truck. I had half of Red Boy's health left, all gone with one of these heavy attacks that you can unload with 3 focus points. You can obviously unload the ability with this transformation at 1 or 2 focus points, but the 3rd focus point gives you red lightning and it hits like a truck. It deletes everything. The Yellow Long Transformation really jived well with me, of that seeing through parry move that the transformation does come with. You just use a light attack and then you follow up with a heavy attack, and if you time it perfectly, you knock it is basically a parry. You just knock the enemy out of the way, you go through their move, and if you can do that 3 times, you will unload massive amount of damage onto the enemy. It is insane. So last but not least, let's move over to the relics. So for Craving Eyes, I have put Keen Insight, considerably increasing critical hit damage. For Fuming Ears, I've got Whistling Wind, which temporarily increases attack after a perfect dodge. For the Hubris Nose, I've got the Lingering Aroma, gains a moderate damage bonus for a short time after casting a spell. Envious Tongue, Tongue of a Connoisseur, I feel that's very fitting. Each equipped soak slightly increases the health recovery of the drink. Since we are using a drink that has 4 soak slots available, this gets the maximum amount of bonus, which is very good. And then we have Grieved Body, and we are taking the Nimble Body, which massively reduces the stamina cost of all charged heavy attacks. Just so you guys can actually see the spells I am using, we do have Rock Solid, we have Mobilize, Pluck a Many, and also the Yellow Long Transformation, aka motherfucking Yellow Slong. And there you have it, guys. That is basically it for this build video. Hopefully this video did help you guys out. I've been having an absolute blast with Wukong. I know I need to get back onto some Elden Ring content, but I am you know, having a lot of fun with this game, and I do have a lot of other build videos for you guys just to hopefully help anybody out, maybe going through New Game Plus or picking up the game for the first time. Appreciate all the love and support as always, guys, and until next time, stay safe, peace out.